Today's tutorial is going to cover how to write code that takes user input and outputs it in a mailing address format. This means we will need to gather a variety of input from the user and also consider how we want that code to output in a format that replicates a mailing address, the kind that you would see on an envelope or a package, any kind of piece of mail, where the first name and last name are on the first line, followed by the street address, and then the city, etc., so on and so forth. As always, before we dive in, the first step is going to be to get organized and use headers at the top of our code here. As you can see, I have my name, the date, and just a little note to myself, or rather a title for the kind of code we'll be writing today. You should always have this at the top of your code, just keep you nice and organized. To get started, we are going to use the print command and create our question statement in the form of a string. In this case, we're going to write, "What is your mailing address?" And you might have picked out something that we haven't talked about before, the \n. Don't worry about that, we're going to get to that later in the tutorial. Next, we need to gather the necessary input for a basic mailing address. We will need to create variables for the following information: the first and last name, street address, city, province, and country, and finally the postal code. To write the code for each of these variables, we will start by using short, concise titles. Let's use name, address, location, and postal code. As you can see, we are writing these variables using one equal sign, followed by input, and in brackets, we are going to write the questions that we need to gather the respective information. Now we have to determine what code we will need to get us that nice, neat, tidy looking mail format. First, let's pick a title for the variable. Let's go with mail ad. Now, back to the \n that I mentioned earlier. To get our spacing just right, we're going to use the escape character \n. Its primary function is to insert a line break separating one line of code from another, which makes output much more readable and in this case gives us that lovely mail format that we're going for. To accomplish this, we're going to write it into our code like so. It may be a little tricky to see the colors here, so let's just make our font a little bit bigger. This is a great trick if you're having a hard time with a small print. You can choose your font size down here. You could also go full screen and just have a little bit more space there to have a look around if you'd like to do that as well. For now, let's just go up one font size. Much better. So as you can see there, the \n is pink, but the quotations are actually red. This is because we're treating the \n as a string. We're going to use this n in each instance that we want our code to start a new line. So as you can see here, we want to start with one right away, plus, and then our first variable. Let's add in the rest. There we go. I just went ahead and went back to the smaller font so you can see the entire line of code there. So between each one, we're going to have a plus sign and then another n, and so on and so forth until we reach the end of our variables. Finally, we want to print that final product for the user. So we'll do that using the print command, and then we'll insert our variable as well. Our variable being, in this case, mail ad. So there we have it, print your mailing address is, plus we have string str, mail ad. The reason that we're doing that is because there will inevitably be numbers in the input of mail ad, and we cannot combine integers and string brackets. So by doing this, we actually assign mail ad to be a string itself. Now that we have all of our code set to go, let's go ahead and run it and give it a try, make sure everything's working properly. What is your mailing address? What is your first and last name? What is your street address? What is your city, province, and country? What is your postal code? And there we go, laid out just like you would see on an envelope. And that's it for a beginner's tutorial to a basic mailing address.